Ever feel like you have great potential, but you're at a loss as how to access it? Our premier experts today are going to share their advice on how to mine your leadership gold, whether you've experienced trauma or you're overwhelmed or unclear as how to present yourself online. I'm super excited for you to meet them. So let's go say hi. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Olson. I'm an inspirational speaker and CEO. You can find me at stephanieolson.com, and I'm based out of Omaha.
Thanks. Great to have you here. And hi, Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly Copeland. I'm a transformational coach and sound healer. I'm based in Fairfax, California, and you can find me at heartmindalchemy.com.
Great to have you, Holly. And hi, Mildred.
Hi, I'm Mildred Talabi. I'm a LinkedIn personal branding coach for high achieving women. You can find me on LinkedIn and at startbeinvisible.com.
Wonderful. Great to have all of you here. And let's hop right into the topic. And I wanted to ask each of you about, your advice. So Stephanie, how would you advise our viewers to mine for leadership if they're faced with trauma?
Yes, well, that's a big topic, and trauma is trauma is trauma. We all have it, but it is so important that we don't deny it through our leadership, but that we embrace it. And what I mean by that is so often we hear people say things like, oh, you're triggering me, don't trigger my trauma. Let that happen, because that is how you can move through that trauma and learn how to work through the pain and heal, and then lead your staff without traumatizing them. I think that's so important.
Yeah, so trauma is not to be ignored, it's to be embraced.
Right.
Would you agree?
We absolutely have to embrace our trauma, and we have to learn through it. Pretending it's not there is not helpful. And as a leader, we need to learn how to move through that and help our staff do the same.
Kind of being a role model works.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Beautiful. It's kind of destigmatizing.
We absolutely need to destigmatize. We all have trauma, every single one of us, and different levels, but we need to be able to talk about that and lead really through that trauma. It's okay to do that.
Beautiful, beautiful invitation for everyone, because trauma is present in so many people's lives. Thank you.
It really is.
So Holly, I wanted to ask you about what advice you have for our viewers today about, how to mine for peace in this chaotic world.
Yeah. Thank you. It's such a beautiful question. And my path is also about embracing. So just like Stephanie talked about embracing trauma, I'm about embracing that you are enough and embracing the peace and the wholeness that's actually here in this moment that can be with the trauma that we have. So there's so much chaos, there's trauma, these things are present, but fundamentally it isn't what we are, it's something that we're aware of. So I reel us back into the presence and the knowing of our being as already whole and already perfect, so that we have this enabled, empowered capacity to be with the pain and the trauma and the chaos that shows up.
Really beautiful. Thank you for that inspiration to get back to that peace and access that state of mind. And Mildred, you work with people online. How can we mine our leadership gold using our LinkedIn presence?
Yes, absolutely. So LinkedIn is the platform where you can really build your leadership, especially your thought leadership. And it all starts with being visible on LinkedIn. It all starts with showing up and building a strong personal brand on LinkedIn. And we do that by, first of all, you establish your values. What do you want to be known for online? What do you want to be recognized for? And that's the kind of place where you start in sharing what your values are, what your vision is for the world. What kind of impact do you want to make for the world? And then sharing your thoughts with people, because you can't be a thought leader without sharing your thoughts. So we need to hear your thoughts. As you start to do these things on LinkedIn, what you find is you start to really establish a strong personal brand that will allow you to make an impact and to influence others, as well as increase your income on LinkedIn and beyond.
I love how inspiring you are to make a stand. And I believe, Mildred, we can do that as we do what Holly and Stephanie have coached us through to get us to the point of peace and acknowledging what we've gone through in our lives, right? And then we can shine as a leader on LinkedIn. So the three of you are really offering key components to mining your leadership. So let's learn a little bit more about each of you. Stephanie, can you tell us about who you work with and what you do?
Absolutely. So as an inspirational speaker, I actually work with a lot of companies or nonprofits in working through this conversation of trauma, difficult conversations with our staff. I am personally the CEO of a nonprofit, and so I've had the opportunity every day to deal with that firsthand. But I think that what we need to work through when we're having issues with trauma in our workplace, we tend to have conflict. Conflict is not a bad thing. It's learning how to deal with conflict in a healthy way. And that is a part of the embracing of the trauma and working through that trauma so that we can have those healthy conversations. We can have a healthy workplace. We can have a healthy staff. And that's really what it's all about in leadership.
It's really important work. So share with us the story about how you came to it.
Yes. So I am personally a survivor of sexual and domestic violence, a survivor of addiction. And through that, my heart was really to see women specifically, but then it grew to youth as well, to live a life that is successful, that is victorious, and that we can utilize those things in our lives that have created trauma, that have, dealt us a blow, use those to have a successful life going forward.
Yeah, that's inspiring. And thank you for this powerful work you're doing. Moving over to Holly, tell us about the work you do and who do you do it with?
So I work with individuals who are maybe stuck in a place of feeling lost in their thoughts, lost in their mind. Maybe they've been on a spiritual journey and they just feel though that there's still something more that they can't touch. They're stuck in sadness or despair for the planet, and they're ready to do that inner work. They want to go within and land in a place of unshakable calm, joy, and clarity. And I do that work through kind of a program I created called Awaken, Heal, Breathe. And I do awakening practices to help people wake up to the truth of who they are. I do healing work with tuning forks to bring, because this is an energetic vibrational universe, and tuning forks are an amazing tool to bring the body back into resonance and harmony, heal trauma, let go of release, old pain. And I use breath work as another third modality. So I combine all those into a powerful way to help people wake up and become unshakable, calm, and clear.
I love that idea of unshakable peace. It's beautiful. So how did you come to this work that you're doing?
Well, I was a scientist actually for the Nature Conservancy for 25 years as an ecologist. And I really got to a place where I felt brokenhearted, I guess, about the world, that there just would never be enough time, money, or resources to save the planet that I cared so deeply about. And it had left me in a place of real despair over the state of the world, of this way we treat people, the way we are to each other. And so I went in it to heal my own broken heart, and came out recognizing that when I became whole within, then I found this incredible, unshakable ability to be with the pain and suffering of the world. There was a health crisis in there as well. So I had a epic battle with mold, which taught me a lot about how to also be with a lot of illness and come through it whole and resilient. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's an incredible story of resilience. And now that you're helping people, thank you so much. And Mildred, tell us about the work you do. Who do you work with and what do you do with them?
So I work with women. A lot of my clients are high achievers, but women who have spent a lot of their lives in hiding, and I say in hiding because they haven't been visible. They haven't wanted to be visible. Maybe you're at that place where it's you have things to say but you just don't say it. Maybe you've been in a career your entire life and that's your job has been your identity. So the women I work with are women who have come to a place where they're like, I'm ready to start using my voice. I'm ready to start using my influence, and I'm ready to build a brand on LinkedIn that will actually open doors for me to make an impact, to influence, and to increase my income where they have a business or where they're moving up in their careers. So those are the women that I tend to work with, and I love the work. It's so fulfilling.
It really is a service you're doing too, to bring voice to women who are ready, they haven't known. So do you have a story of either how you helped somebody or how you came to this work?
Sure. So I just my own thing. I am the woman who spent most of her life hiding. I grew up a fairly shy kid, and like I would do anything but to be visible. But it wasn't until many years later that I actually realized that it was the fear of being visible that held me back. But the contradiction of it was at the same time, I always felt like I had more to contribute to the world, so there's that inside thing of I got to say it. I've got things to say, but it's until I find the courage to start being visible myself through speaking. And then later on, I found LinkedIn as a platform where I could really use the platform as an outlet for my voice. And then it's like, oh, people want to hear what I have to say. Wow, people's lives are changing as a result of the things I'm saying. And that whole recognition of knowing that your voice has power, because all of our voice has power, all of our story has power, the power to change somebody else's life. And that's recognition came to me first. And now I get great pleasure helping other women to get to that place for themselves.
That's a great story. So thank you for sharing your light with us, having the courage to do that, because now it's rippled out and sharing it with allowing others to come to this place of light. And that's what we do here at Women Speakers Association. We bring visibility to your message. Each of you, Holly and Stephanie and Mildred, have this heart, this expertise, and this vision to heal, to bring to gold, mine that gold out of people. So and so does the heavens here. I have one final question, but before I do that, I want to let people know that you can actually join us here at Women Speakers Association if you have a message you want to bring out, if you mine for gold and mine your own gold with us at joinwsa.com, or you can download our Speaker Success Plan for free at speakersuccessplan.com. That's how you put your toe in the water. But you can also become a premier member like the women here today have at joinwsa.com. But my last question to each of you is, what's the value you're already receiving, whether you've been here a short time or a long time here at Women Speakers Association? Stephanie, maybe you can chime in on that first.
Absolutely. Well, anything that gets me around a group of women is wonderful. And I love learning from other women, learning from professionals, and just kind of gleaning wisdom off of women. But I think that the visibility and the opportunities that WSA provides is wonderful. And I think they do a fabulous job of really working with the women they serve to do great things.
Thank you for that. We definitely do. And Holly, how about you? What has been your experience and what's the value you're gaining?
Yeah, thank you. I am so inspired by the women on WSA. When I first joined that first call that I was on, I was just blown away by how the energy and the expertise and the energy of the women. It's very palpable, and I'm so inspired every time I join this group of women. And I've also connected personally with a few of the women. One of the women's helping me with graphic design now, and we're working together. So we're helping each other. I've actually a number of women I've connected with. So it's about connecting for me with incredible women around the world. Yeah.
There really are incredible women like yourselves here today. And Mildred, tell us about the value you're receiving from Women Speakers Association.
Yes, I think similar to Stephanie and Holly, it's that whole being in a room full of like-minded women. As I said, my audience is high achievers, and I walked into a meeting at WSA and I'm like, I'm in a room full of high achieving women who are all awesome, going places, and it's just, you leave the meetings energized and feeling like, yes, I can go to that next level. I can continue doing what I'm doing, So I do really get a lot out of being a member of WSA. I think it's a really good place to connect with other women.
Well, thank you for being the fabulous women you are, the high achieving impact women that you are. And this is the place we come to connect, to share resources, it's very generous. And we have expertise in the room here, right here in this little subset of the whole Premier membership. So we welcome you in, and thank you for your heart, your wisdom today, Stephanie and Holly and Mildred. We'll be back with you next time with another WSA TV Women's Premier Show. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer. Bye for now.
Thanks, Laura.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Laura.